Okay, sorry about the background noise. For those that are wondering, I haven't forgotten, I will be uploading the last 2 readings as well as the last couple of discussions I will be uploading to my YouTube channel. I haven't forgotten. We'll get that taken care of sometime before the day is out. Okay, so for those of you that are waiting for that, sorry for the delay. We'll get those up and going over on YouTube. Okay, but those that are coming in right now, the title says, someone asked how to be authentic. Now, the reason why I'm here talking about it is because as I was going about the rest of my day, sometimes I get messages and downloads, or I can hear with the clairaudience or the clair senses, I can hear and sense, right? Those of you who are familiar with all that, y'all know how that goes. But somebody's asking how to be authentic. And when I heard that, I'm like, am I hearing correctly? That somebody is saying how to be authentic? How to be authentic. I don't know if it stemmed from the last live that I just did with y'all, where I was talking about a family of pathological liars, all right? And then people get used to that dynamic. People live in that dynamic for so very long that it's just kind of the norm. Everybody looks at it like the norm. It's just how it is. Everybody just kind of gets used to functioning that way and just plaster on a fake, veneer for the public, but knowing full well deep inside that the family dynamic is toxic and it's built on a lot of lies, a lot of tricks, and a lot of deceit. And until someone is strong or bold enough to go against that grain, no matter what type of backlash, because most people are afraid of the backlash that you get when you decide to speak truly, when you decide to expose and no longer just go along with how the shit has always been. So one of the things I want to share, since someone is saying, well, how do you be authentic? All I can tell you is it's not going to be easy initially, or at least it's not going to feel easy when you are initially trying to get yourself out of that vein of existence. It's like anything else on the earth. Anything that we have been shaped into and conditioned into and have done for long periods of time has built up a momentum, a level of familiarity, a level of comfortability. Anything that we have ever wanted to change in life, if we look at it, it all started with the discipline to do something different over and over again. And initially, it did not, Initially, it did not, it did not feel comfortable. It didn't feel easy. There was times where we stumbled and, because we're not used to the change, used to the shift. But one has to be intentional in order to, you have to be mindful and intentional. What do I mean by that? So become aware of yourself. Become aware of your own tendencies. And if you do that, it'll help you to kind of step in and go, okay, this is the pattern. I'm used to this. It's accepted. It's familiar. This is, and I don't want this anymore. And just prepare yourself in advance that a lot of people are going to have a problem with this authenticity. A lot of people are going to try to cause chaos and misunderstanding because of this authenticity. And you have to be prepared that, yes, people that are comfortable with the dysfunction is going to have a problem with me. Because I'm causing this disruption. I'm causing a disruption to how everything has always went. And everybody is comfortable with how things have always went because, those that have benefited from it. It's usually those that have benefited from it on some level that are comfortable with it and prefer that it stays the same. Okay? So you have to just accept that, all right, People try to say they like authenticity, but they don't like authenticity. People like authenticity as long as it's something that they feel like they're benefiting from. But they do not like authenticity when it means you're going to call people out on their lies. You're not going to go along with abuse. You're going to stand up for what is right. You're not going to continue the same toxic patterns. You know what I'm saying? They don't like it then. Then they're going to call you somebody that's causing problems. Yeah, you're causing problems to the dysfunctionality that everybody wants to continue to perpetuate and want you to bow to. So you have to get okay with that and do it one day at a time, but be intentional, set an intention. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be honest. And what does that look like? I'm going to give you an example. Okay? Boom. I'm going to give y'all an example. Boom, bitch. So let's say you're trying to change how you go about connecting with people. And you're used to wearing some kind of a deceptive mask because you don't want to come in vulnerable, straightforward, and honest. So maybe you have had a tendency to approach a person without giving full disclosure of your intentions or why you're even connecting or reaching out. So, oh, hello, blah blue, blah, 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 so-and-so. Hey, I'm just calling to check on you. I'm just reaching out, right? But if that's not legit, let me explain what I mean. What if the truth is this? You saw someone on social media, you've been watching them, you have heard something. If you yourself have not seen them, someone that you know have, and they have been reporting to you what they're seeing on social media, and you have heard some kind of information, and you either are curious about it, you want to know what ended up happening, you want to come in and apologize if there's something that you know about, or if it's something you were involved in. So this is the greater truths. This is the real truth. But instead of coming in saying, hey, I know it's been a long time. I know I haven't been a part of your life, or I know I haven't talked to you or seen you for years, and I really did not put any effort up to this very point, truth be told, to connect to you. And the truth of the matter is, I am aware of what was done to you with your kinfolk, with your family member, with a different family member. The truth of the matter is, I knew of some information, I was a part of it, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. And since I'm trying to become a different person, I want to turn over a new leaf authentically. That means I have to come to you with the truth. I'm not just randomly reaching out to you. I've been watching you. I've had people watching you. I know about what's been going on. I heard about the shit in the grapevine. I was involved. Or I know what this one did. Or I wooty-wooty-woo. See, this is authenticity. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That takes intention. It takes a level of humility too. Because see, the thing is, most people, if they were involved, okay, because some people maybe they were not, but for the ones that were, then that means they gotta kind of they gotta come in bearing the full truth, okay, not just I'm sorry, hey, I just want to check on you. You want to see that I'm not dead, or you what? Those that were not involved, but let's say they were not directly involved, or they did not, participate or benefit off of something, but they did hear things in the grapevine, okay? Whether it be they were watching you or someone that they know were watching you. An authentic person practicing authenticity is going to go in saying just that. They're not going to come in acting like they haven't been watching you or that they didn't hear something from somebody if they themselves haven't been watching you. But this is what we've been talking about with practicing authenticity and breaking these toxic dynamics of this deceptive way. At this stage of life and this healing journey, I'm starting to realize, as I look back at a lot of stuff, as I look back at parts of my childhood even, as I look at my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and certain aspects, I know why she didn't want nothing to do with people. I now know why she got to a point where she was very dry, because of all of this deception, this toxicity, this abusive way of relating, this toxic family dynamics that everybody just continued to perpetuate. Yeah, we're going to smile on each other. We're going to deny just downright lies straight out of our fucking teeth to each other. And we're going to call that normal. And then we're going to go to church on Sunday and have Sunday dinner. And talking about what God said. I get it now. It's dysfunctional. And it's dysfunction that has to be broken no matter how difficult. Even if it means those that are deciding to heal and wake up decide that they don't want any part of it. Because remember, what we are allowing, we're sending a signal to the universe that we are okay with people being deceptive to us. And we'll still go to Starbucks and we'll still smile and put a picture from the barbecue bitch. And we'll still, you know what I'm saying? We're giving off a frequency to the universe that we are okaying this kind of conduct and behavior, that we are in agreement with it, that we feel, whether we say this or not, that this is all we are worth and all we deserve, and that it's okay to be a part of our reality. And so we will continue to recreate it then. It is difficult deconstructing initially because it's going to shatter everything. You're going to lose a lot of things. You're going to lose a lot of people that are used to those toxic dynamics, people who want that dynamic to stay because it makes them look in a light that they want to be looked at versus the light that they really are. So whoever out in the universe was asking about practicing authenticity, I'm just going to say, yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it's not going to feel like second nature at first. Yes, you're going to have to put in effort, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Yes, you're going to have to accept that you're going to get resistance and pushback, and that you're going to get people attempting to gaslight you. The people that want to continue to perpetuate the toxic dynamic is going to attempt to gaslight you. I'm sorry. Okay? People that are part of keeping a lot of secrets in the family, those that are got their hands dirty, I can promise you they don't want these secrets to come out. And so since they don't want these secrets to come out, they're going to still attempt to keep you in inauthenticity. They're going to still attempt to gaslight, and you have to be the one to shut it down. You got to be willing to kind of go it alone for a while so that you can kind of energetically clean up and disrupt that dynamic. These toxic karmic cycles need to be broken, but it takes being broken. You can't wish upon a star. It takes breaking it. Even if it means you make your mama mad, you make your daddy mad, you make your sister mad, your brother mad, your auntie mad, your uncle mad, your cousin mad, your son mad, your daughter mad, your whoever. It takes actually breaking it, even if it's not celebrated, even if it's not popular, even if everybody's got some kind of opinion about it. Because see, people don't like disruption. People want the comfortable familiarity of their toxic dynamics. Don't disrupt our dysfunction. Don't put our family business out there. Well, sometimes family business have to be put out there so people can realize that either this shit is going to break willfully or it's going to break with the help of the universe. The reason why shit hasn't broken in a lot of families for a long time because of so many factors. People were killing off the star seeds and earth angels long before that they can heal and ascend and wake up and transform. The structures of these times didn't give them a lot of room to do some things. And then a bunch of cowards. A bunch of, yes people, people that are easily bought and sold. People afraid. But when there's one, and it's going to always be the one they least expect, the one that they counted out as someone weak and not in the know, that's going to take them out. That's going to expose everything before they die. And guess what? Somebody may say, well, wow, yes, destruction is volatile. This has to happen so that we can do what? Recreate and build up something healthier. What we're trying to do for those behind us. Someone has to stand up and be the difference and not just quote about being the difference on Instagram. Someone has to be the bold one to do the work, the soul work, with all of its ups and downs and all that implies, and get all of the backlash and all of the attacks and all of the gossip and all of the lies and all of the rumors and all of it. Somebody has to be able to stare all of that in the face and say, come for me. Because I will take you down. Someone has to do that. And then as we go on, we have shaken the paradigm. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? We have shaken these energetic karmic cycles and paradoxes for some of us that have gone on for several hundreds of generations. This is why we were targeted to begin with. And, oh shit. Hold on. Dang it. It's not on. Dang it. Okay, I think there I am. Hold on. Sorry guys for the disruption there. I keep forgetting to hold up, sorry. I keep forgetting when my battery, I don't hear the ding and then it'll just go out on me. So I just, hold on, am I even still on? I had to reboot. Man. Oh man, let me see. Bummer. Let's see what we got here. I was on a roll, bitch. Anyway, I was on a roll. I was saying things. But anyway, I was essentially done. I just wanted to come back because it just kind of cut off and it was due to my battery. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Basically, I was just wrapping up the practice of authenticity. What you have to accept with that, especially if you're used to toxic family dynamics and dysfunctionality, is accepted as the norm. And there's a lot that comes with practicing authenticity. But bear with me with the screen here. Man, boom, I'll put that one on. You have to be intentional, okay? And just like when we first learned how to ride a bike, just how when we first learned how to type, when we first learned how to walk, when we first learned how to drive, like all of the things require practice. For those that gave up like drugs and alcohol, okay? It was not cinchy at first for some people, right? It was intentional. It required practice, right? You had to mean it. A lot of people get near-death experiences that lead them to having the strength to not do the drugs and the alcohol. So when you're trying to learn how to become authentic with your intentions and your motivations and open and transparent, and you're not used to being like that, then you got to be comfortable with being awkward, because you're going to feel vulnerable as you reach out to a person or as you're connecting and saying, hey, I saw you on this, on social media, and, I would like to get to know you, or I saw, whatever that is for you. Or, hey, I need to clear the air. I need to make an amends. I was a part of something, and I heard this through the grapevine, and I heard this on social media, and, I just want to say, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Okay? Whatever that authenticity is, and I'm sorry, screen here, you guys. I just wanted to come and wrap up the discussion. Because I was getting the question. How do you be authentic? I've heard it. There were some people asking that. So remember, it's like everything else. You start a new job, you have to get used to the training. You have to get used to the methods, the tools. You have to do that over and over again in order to get acclimated into that job, that department, that skill set. Authenticity is a skill set. And you have to, somebody says, oh, you're something. On your, I can't see it. I'm sorry. My P's and Q's maybe. But yeah, it just takes practice, guys. And so I'm only addressing maybe the sincere people out there that's asking about, like, they're trying to change their ways and they're finding it difficult because they're a part of groups that are used to functioning in toxic dynamics. And they're realizing, like, they're getting a lot of pushback, a lot of backlash. They're not supported. They're being gaslit. You just have to get okay with that, because you're going to reap the fruit of deciding to be an authentic person. You're going to be the one that's changing the game. You're doing what nobody wanted to do in dynamics for generations. This is why there is such resistance. Everybody... Oh, somebody said I don't see your email. Oh, not on this live. I mean, I can put it here for you. I'm sorry. Hold up. Because it's going slow on my side, but I'll type it in, okay? Whoever you guys are out there that's trying to operate in authenticity, meaning with your motives, your intentions, and your communication with people, you're the game changer. You're setting the stage. You're being the example. See, everybody wants to be looked upon as these great, godly people, these loving people, these gurus, these teachers, these leaders. But not everybody want to actually do the work from the inside out that's required to be authentically looked upon in that way, right? So You're changing the game, my friend. But you got to take the bitter with the sweet. You're going to lose connections. You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to get people that try to triangulate. So they're going to send in this one. That didn't work. They're going to send in that one. If that didn't work, they're going to try to send in this one to get in your head, to try to make you question things because they don't want to break that toxic cycle. They don't want that delusion and deception to come to an end. Okay? Be the change. For those of us out there that's attempting to make things right, that's not going to feel comfortable either. But you have to be the change. Be what you wish people were for you when you were a child or a teenager, which is you wanted people that had the fucking balls and heart to stand up for you, to defend you, to be truthful with you, to protect you, and half of them didn't have that. So be it. Now we're getting an opportunity to be what most of us sit back and wish we had. We wish we had people that were honest. We wish we had people that were forthcoming. We wish we had people that cared beyond their objectification of who we were. We wish that, you know what I'm saying, whoopie-whoop. So we're going to have to do the work to be that. You didn't like that there was a bunch of lies in your life as a child, then don't be a liar then. Don't support that. Don't continue to perpetuate that. You didn't like the games that uncles and aunties and cousins and sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers and whoop-de-whoop. You didn't like the games, the deception, the cruelty, the greed, the dishonesty, the theft, the manipulation, then you stop it. It means you have to stop being that way, and it means you have to stop supporting that way. And this is how you change your life. This is how you change the quantum dynamic for your life. You're setting an example. If you got children, grandchildren, or just people who admire you, whatever the situation is, you're setting the example. So if you're perpetuating dishonesty, this is the example that you are living. This is the example that you're giving, whether you want to or not. But if this is what you're doing, this is what you're perpetuating. If you're teaching, whether directly or indirectly, your children, your grandchildren, or whoever that's in your care, or your lovers or whatever, if you're perpetuating, it's okay for us to be dishonest and steal things from innocent lives so that we can benefit. It's okay. That's what's going to continue on. You're teaching them. You're shaping a sociopath. You're shaping a narcissist. If you're teaching them that the only thing to do with spirituality is that you go to church on Sunday, on Wednesday, you go to the retreat and conference, you go to the prayer meeting, you get on the deacon board, you get on the prayer board, you get on the choir bench, but we can be fucked up. You're teaching them that that's what so-called spirituality and godliness is. As long as we go to the altar and cry and say, I'm sorry, even though we finna do it again, and we have no intention of making the amends for what we've done. This is what you're teaching. See, people don't understand. We're teaching all the time. Every last one of us. Every last one of us is teaching. Whether this is directly or indirectly. We're teaching by our conduct. If we have hidden dishonor, then we're leaving that as a legacy, hidden dishonor. We're teaching our children that it is okay. It's okay to gang up on your own family if it means you can get a house, a car, and some money that you need. So we're shaping sociopaths and psychopaths. We're training them how to be inauthentic, and we're training them how to be overly materialistic to the detriment of other lives and to the detriment of their own soul, because they're going to pay for it. It's okay to gossip in a family structure. This is just how it is. It's okay that each other lie to each other, play games, get on the phone with each other, talk about each other's, deny it, say something different. This is toxic bullshit. And we're teaching our children, since, you know, we be wanting to act like we know shit. Well, we're teaching them how to be fucked up. We're sending mixed signals because we preaching Bible, and we had the sage, you know, the Reiki center bitch, and we doing all this shit. But our conduct, we're saying all kind of shit. We donating shit, bitch. Make-A-Wish Foundation, bitch. We're doing all this shit, but then stealing from our own at the same time. It's fake. Authenticity requires heart. This is what they've been saying. Because you're going to have to break structures that have been established for a long time. That does not easily want to go away because people are comfortable being deceptive. People have grown comfortable being abusive, justifying their abusive ways because of their own personal bent, belief system, and selfishness. Seeing that siren right there? This is the end. This is how some of these people, yeah. It's destructive. It is abuse. And I'm going to keep pushing this, and I'm going to keep putting it out there for people to fucking get educated. That's abuse. Narcissism and people who operate from that kind of energy, that's abuse. To sit up in people's face or over the phone and to try to gaslight that person, that's abuse. To try to cause confusion about something that someone knows full well the truth about, that is a form of abuse. This is mental illness. I came here to deal with that. I'm going to deal with that. I am dealing with that. That's abuse. That's mental and psychological abuse. People are going to pay for that. But it also takes people strong enough to stand in authenticity and say, I'm not going to engage with this. I'm going to be very blank and bland. and have no desire for connections with those who are trying to stay in that paradigm, those that are trying to pull me back into that kind of paradigm, those that are trying to keep me in an inauthentic way of living and relating and calling it family. That's not family, that's dysfunction. Just because it's a blood relation, that's dysfunction. When you love, you do right. See, people using this term so loosely, we have this toxic ideology about love. Well, if they love you, dear, they'll do right by you. It's simple. This includes your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, your auntie, your uncle, your baby mama, your baby daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your whoever. People that are talking that jazz. If they love you, they'll do right by you. What do I mean do right? Honor. If there was hidden dishonor, they'll own it and take accountability for it and make their proper amends. Otherwise, they're just talking more lies out of the side of their neck. If they have something that belongs to you, that was left to you and meant for you, it means releasing it to you, telling you about it, or, like I said, they're lying. If they love you, collective, they'll do right by you. If people love you, they wouldn't be a part of gang stalking groups. If people love you, they wouldn't be a part of trying to end you or your children. If they love you, so they need to stop all that. They wouldn't have taken delight in causing cruelty and struggles for you if they loved you. They wouldn't have been gossiping behind your back if they loved you. But it takes people standing in that strength of what I'm talking about here. No longer just smiling and nodding and going along with it because it's what make everybody else comfortable. If they loved you, they would have supported you. And not trying to get people to come against you if they loved you. If they loved you, they wouldn't have been trying to go to family member A, B, C, and D to attempt to get them to do recon because they're a fucking coward. If they loved you, they will face you with authenticity, transparency, accountability, and honesty. We need to stop throwing that term around loosely because somebody know how to say it sweet. I love you. If they loved you, collective, they wouldn't have been trying to work so diligently and hard to disrupt your peace. If they loved you, they certainly wouldn't have been a part of stealing from you. And again, all things with balance. I'm not talking about somebody stole a bag of Doritos, a Guess shirt, and some Bijan perfume. Why am I saying that? Because people think they're slick. Take this shit with balance. We're not talking about no childhood, teenager shit. If they loved you, they would have been a part of supporting your life and your journey, not a part of trying to make it more difficult. If they loved you, they wouldn't have taken advantage of vulnerable moments and seasons of your life to add insult to injury because they have a weak-ass ego. If they loved you. Authenticity requires effort and intention. It requires being done when our knees are shaken, when we're uncomfortable, when it requires us to strip off our fake ass veneers and masks that we have gotten comfortable with living behind, because it makes us appear in a light that's not true, that we don't want to be destroyed because we want to be looked upon as decent, upstanding citizens. But the truth of the matter is, maybe some of us have not operated that way, and we don't want the world to know. So we attempt to kill the ones who have the power to expose us. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not dying this physical earth realm until my job is done. Until I've exposed every last one of them. So they can plan and strategize all they want. Those who are seeking true healing and reform understands the importance of the topic that I'm discussing here. There is no back door to true healing and ascension. It requires authenticity. It requires approaching life in a different way than what we have been shaped into. It requires the deconstruction of the fuck shit. It requires that we don't just go around talking about mental health and talking about accountability. We become what we preach, what we teach, what we post in social media so we can get the ahs and the oohs. We become that shit. In other words, when we fucked up, we have to eat humble pie and clear it up if we legit bitch. Oh. Because it ain't about just saying things. See. Anybody can train to do that. Anybody can train of how to be a public speaker. Anybody can, oh, come on. Anybody can do that. It requires being this shit when it's not convenient. It requires owning up to one's own shit, even if it means it makes you look bad. That's transformation. That's what healing is about. This is how you break curses. Everybody want to go about talking about they breaking shit. And they not breaking nothing. They are it. And why do I say that? Because they're still perpetuating the same toxic dysfunctionality that's been going about for generation after generation. What is that? Family dynamics? Toxic family dynamics? They're still perpetuating it. So no, they're not breaking anything. They're a part of it. Abusing one's own, that's toxic family dynamics. They ain't breaking nothing, and going to church on Sunday ain't changing that. Taking advantage of the widows and the orphans, toxic dynamic. Quoting shit ain't gonna change that either. Listen, preachers run deep in my bloodline. Let me tell you something. Preachers run deep in my bloodline on both sides. But let me tell you what also equally runs deep right alongside of that. Hypocrisy. Abuse, negligence, lust, greed, mental illness, hidden behind religion. All manner of abuse and evil that you can think of. But they can preach. Authenticity requires someone having the strength to go on the journey to transform into their own authenticity, and then having the strength, the tenacity, moxie, wherewithal to stand up against the long-standing stronghold of toxic dynamics, no matter who don't fucking like it. Because see, either people are going to heal and come up to the level of becoming that, or we cut them out. We're not going down and back because people are struggling with the process of authenticity, wanting us to stay in the realm of illusion because they want to stay in the realm of illusion and they want to stay connected to us. Some cases because they're getting bad karma and they know it. And that guilt is coming. Can't sleep at night. Can't sleep. You know you stole the house, bitch. You know you signed fraudulent. You know you took hush money. You know who they left it to. So we gon' taunt you. So sometimes they attempt to connect because that guilt. Oh, how are you? Are you feeling guilty because you have something that belongs to me? Or you know the one who does? Are you trying to soothe? Trying to get some kind of emotion from me? Am I supposed to care that somebody died? Am I supposed to care? Because if they were involved in fuckery, then, well, they probably got their lot too. Were you not a part of trying to kill me, maybe? And my children, perhaps? You feeling guilty because the shit is starting to go. Be mindful of that, collective, because that's what people who don't want to step into authenticity and don't want to make true amends with you will do. This is a major toxic dynamic in my kinfolk, my bloodline. Major. Major. It's been like that forever. Long before I was even thought of. Long. It's some old evil bitch. Instead of people coming clean and doing right, they come with the fake ass. Concern, trying to soothe their guilt. Own your shit. Or continue to suffer the consequence. I'm not going to see, as an empath, this is what people get used to. This is what happens. They get used to this about you. They remember these aspects about you. If you're a divine one, they know somewhere subconsciously that at the core of you, you're a loving person. Okay? Even if you're a Queen of Swords. Okay? So they want to come to you. They're guilty as fuck of either knowing about some fucked up shit or participating in some fucked up shit. And they didn't do nothing about it. And then, out of the blue, somebody says both. Out of the blue, you know what I'm saying? Because karma is coming. Boom, bitch, it's coming hard for their ass, bitch. It's like, everybody line up, bitches, because we're coming, motherfuckers. Everybody just line up, get ready, you know what I'm saying? So, when the shit start coming, now they want to call you. They ain't called you in 30,000 years. Ain't thought about you or nothing. They knew how to find you if they wanted to the entire time. So now all of a sudden they want to, I just want to see how you're doing. Guilt. You're guilty. They're used to us soothing. Because see, this is a part of what people would usually come to us for. When somebody die, ain't that infamous, somebody dying sick? It used to be the norm where people would be like, call, you know, whoopie-woo. Call this one, call that one, you know, whoopie-woo. Because they're going to get some kind of emotion. You know, yeah, okay, I'm supposed to care. You ain't called me in 30 years. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, I'm so sad. No, I'm going to be bland and dry. I'm going to be like, sorry for your loss. Okay, bye. See, this is what I'm talking about. Come correct. Come clean, own up, or step and then pay the penalty for even fucking with me. Don't come at me with fake shit. You wanted to work with the dark witch? Now receive your lot along with her. You wanted to partner up with them dark witches? Receive your lot. But we have to stand in that collective. And it's not easy for those of us that are not used to doing that. Let's see what they say. Let's call them and see what kind of... No, you're not going to get nothing. In fact, I'm going to limit my interaction. And then if I get pissed, I'm going to ask my team to execute justice for fucking with me. For not coming in correctly. Absolutely, yes I am. Because I say this all the time. Either people are going to come towards me in this authenticity that I'm talking about, or they're going to wish they had. Either they come sincere, bearing truths and all that, or they're going to, I promise you they are. Still coming trying to fuel me out for dark witches, it's going to cost the dark witches and you. Trying to pretend like you're not connected or you don't know nothing about it or where they at and what they doing, that's going to cost you too. Trying to hire a hitman to come for me and my son, that's going to cost you. That's why people are dropping like flies as I speak. Trying to cover up a crime, trying to cover up that theft, that's going to cost you. Tell people this all the time. You better fucking question your loyalty. You better fucking question it. Because it's going to cost you. You want that house that bad? You want that money? You want that to be kept secret? Attempting to do that, it's going to cost you. Let me put the world on notice. I got to hear up and get this on my YouTube. Hear me and hear me good. People that are stalking me and pretending like they're not. It will serve you to, first and foremost, cease and desist stalking me, number one. This will be in your best interest. Number two, it will serve you to leave me alone altogether. What do I mean? Do not attempt to connect to me with hidden dishonor, because that's only going to add to your penalty. Number three, attempting to hire root workers and hitmen is going to cost you in more ways than you will ever imagine. It is advised for however much time you have left, and for some of you not that much. It is advised, you better stop now. It is advised that you move entirely out the way, or wish that you had.